Right guys, welcome back to another episode of Ginge Gone Walkabout. I apologise if you can't hear me that well, I'll try and do it so you can. Tonight's adventure, we're basically doing a stealth camp, to some degree, in a sense. I got a nice flat spot there, you can kind of see where I've come this way, there you go, you can kind of see where I've checked the earth to see if there's any like big sticks, and there was, so I'm glad I did that. But yeah, thank you for clicking on. Let's do this, people. Right, so this is where my shelter is. I thought I'd show you it from this side. And to be fair, if I come around here, my biggest fear, coffee mug, my biggest fear with one-man tents was not being able to fit my pack inside. Now obviously I got, this is 3 4-season kit I'm using. And obviously in there, that is actually my backpack, my 50 litre British Army Bergen. Obviously I got a Czech Army sleep system in there, the Czech Army blanket roll, whatever. Obviously that's my DPM smock and my thing, but it's all in there perfect, to be honest. Which, to be honest, I was a bit surprised about, because I did bring my British Army pack, because they're basically water resistant and fucking hard as nails, and I was going to use it to basically leave outside if it come to it. But it all fits in there lovely, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to close that up and I'm going to walk to the closest trails and everything, and then show you if it's seen or ain't it type thing, and we'll go from there. Right, this is from up this side. Can't really... Can you notice anything out of the usual? That looks like a place. My shelter is there. But believe it or not, that top section is actually leaves. So that little light green bit there, that's the top of my shelter. Right. Sorry, I can't zoom in any further. So that's one side. Now this is the side with the door. So you can't see anything there really. Which, to be fair, is mad. Yeah, the trail's off. You can't see it, but it's actually off down there over an embankment, so they definitely aren't going to see me from that way. And it's not unless you actually like hike right up through her and everything. Which, unless you're like me, I doubt you're going to do that. And then when you get to the top, you'll be greeted with that. Even then, it don't really stick out too bad, I don't reckon anyway. But it is. That is just, it's not even a trail. It looks like it on there, but it actually ain't. I wish it was. It made getting in there a lot easier. But, yeah, beautiful up there. Right, guys. Basically, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I spent quite a lot of time just letting me tent with the vestibule type fit side bit up. Just drinking coffee, chilling out, because in the winter time when you're self camping to a degree, there ain't really a lot you can do, because a lot of it is just dark, cold, more or less just about chillaxing to a degree. But other than that, people, I'll see you in the morning, night. And before anyone says, oh, so what did you eat? Nothing. I'm not hungry. Night. Morning, guys. Time's about 7:30. I ain't long woke up. I've got a brew on the go. Well, I say a brew, I got hot water. Which I'm using the BCB hard fuel stove, which to be honest is fucking amazing. And at £2.50 for a stove for that, the stove. Can't really go wrong, I suppose. I'll turn you back around. Yeah, £2.50 for that stove. Right, and then £2 for this fuel that I've used for the past 2 trips. So I suppose can't really fucking moan there, can you? quality little thing. I have to go quiet, we have cyclists coming past. That's the joys about stealth camping, being quiet so you're unseen and unheard. So, it's pretty fucking cool. I got my brew going, I'm gonna make myself a fag, sit here and chill for a bit. Get up, get packed, get going. And we'll go over some rules of stealth camping that I tend to follow. I've always been fine. I've only ever been spotted when I'm with people, to be honest. Or when I'm just being lazy and not actually doing it stealthily. So. But rule 1. No big ass white lights. That is the first rule at the moment. Oh, that's showing up white. It's actually a red bulb. It's actually a red light. So yeah, people. My number 1 rule about stealth camping: no big ass white lights. Red lights. Red lights is the way. Why? Because they're less seen and they don't fuck up your night vision. Believe it or not, this is just a cheap Energizer head torch that was 13 quid. All because it's got the red feature and it's an automatic red. I can. Now you see the white light. Now you see this is the red. And this is why I use the red. It's awesome. So yes, take notes. Rule 1. No bright lights. Yeah, I'll just give you a thingy. Well, last night, obviously I couldn't exactly give you much video content, shall we say, simply because whilst I was obviously in a one-man tent, if people are aware, in a one-man tent, especially the OEX ones, there's not exactly room to sit up. Like if I sit up, I'm not even sat up properly, I'm kind of at a 45-degree angle. There's not a lot of room in there to be able to show you shit. Like, that's where, I don't know if it's going to show you, but that's where my head was. And I obviously, my head, even now, is up on the actual roof bit. So, yeah, that's why I didn't film much last night. Basically, all I did was just sit in there, answer all you guys, the lovely YouTube subscribers. And obviously, I've watched quite a lot of people's videos, just because there ain't really a lot you can do in the winter stealth camping. Simply because you can't have a fire, well you can, but kind of defeats the object of stealth camping if you ask me. Yeah, and boys, when you're solo, there ain't really a lot you can do. And considering it got dark about 7 o'clock, and I crawled in here about 1:30, to be honest. I wandered around for a little bit, just seeing what was about in the dark. Sat down, had a fag, just listened, as you do. And yeah, basically, like, there's nothing, so I got my ass curled back up in my sleep system, which I will say was fucking awesome. These Czech Army bedrolls, oh my days, that's awesome. Trying to get this light so I don't look. I know I'm white, but I don't need to glow white. Like, being a ginger, that happens. Yeah, absolutely lovely. I think my next setup, I'm probably going to be using the tent, but this Czech Army bedroll is basically just going to be my go-to sleep system. Because I like the idea of the blankets, because say I don't need the actual bivy bag thing, I can actually take the blanket out and use it as a blanket, as a wool blanket, so that's one of the reasons. And the fact, like, say it gets a bit colder, I got wool blankets I can actually stick inside this. I know people's going to go, oh, but it's a bit heavier, but isn't it worth it being a bit heavier in my eyes? Because I know it's just going to be up to the task that I got to use. Rather than getting all this ultralight shit, farting and blowing it all out the side of your sleeping bag. Like, because I'm always out in the woods and 90% of the time I'm ragging through the bush. Not all the time my sleep systems fit in my bag. And a lot of them do get a bit nattered up. Well, with this I'm not so worried because it's basically what's fucking designed for, isn't it? It's designed for war! So it's survival weekend out in the woods with me. You know? Right guys, I'm off. I was just there basically. I'm off down that way. As you can see, it's just woodlands. But tonight, last night's trip was absolutely amazing. I'm sorry about the lighting, there ain't really much I can do about that. I'm off anyway. I've seen like 2 people come through like off the trail beside like that's kind of next to me. So I kind of decided, well, if everyone's getting up and starting to roll through here, it's about time I packed up and got going. Now, last people I saw through here walked through here about half hour ago. I haven't seen anyone since. So I'm just going to make a slow mosey on out of here. I'm not going the same way that I came in. Just because really I just want to change scenery. Take a bit of a longer walk. I'm in no rush to get home. So it's alright, I suppose, at the end of the day. But yeah, people, I thank you for watching. It does mean a lot. Like, that people actually like watching this crazy schizophrenic, who is also a man of God, out in these places, like, enjoying nature, showing you basically what it's about. They're absolutely banging. I ain't really going to be able to show you much view-wise through here, not until I get more out in the open. But to be fair, I think by the time I get down into the open, there ain't really be much to show you, because up here I'm up on the cliff ledges and shit. Whereas where I'm going to be is basically going to be river height. So if you see any more footage after this one, like, I find you some nice views to look at. But if not, I apologise, I didn't find you any nice views to look at. But on this one, people, I suppose that is it from me. I'm going to love you and leave you. And that's a lie, just yet. The rules of stealth camping, obviously, went over rule 1 this morning. No red lights. Rule number 2, no fire. Unless you're doing like a next level Dakota fire pit. Which, I might have to do one of them soon, actually, thinking about that. Be pretty damn awesome. Obviously, got across a little body of water. Like, oh no! Oh, it's alright, I didn't get wet. Right, rule 3 as well. Low profile shelters. By low profile, I mean nothing above the hip at the fucking highest. If you can get it down by like a knee height shelter, that's the way to go. Obviously, the tent I was using is about 3/4 of the way up my thigh. So if I stand, if I can get you so you can see my legs. So my shelter comes to about here. Which, to be honest, bit tall for my liking, but I suppose it's alright. Did the job perfect. Just needed it to keep me warm and dry, and that's exactly what it did. And there's a pool of water down there, people. So we're going to go and try and get down there so we can have a look. But yeah, rule 3, low profile shelters. Rule 4, you don't want stuff like when you cook, say, bacon for instance, because bacon will pull everyone in from miles around. Like, even vegans it pulls in because they feel they feel like they must tell you that you're doing a very bad thing by eating bacon. So it even draws them in, believe it or not. Sorry to all your vegans that's watched this. I don't understand you. Like, you tell me it's bad to eat animals, but then like you eat plants and have to take supplements. If you eat a full diet on just plants and shit, you have to take supplements. Like, you can die from that. You just eat meat, you can live quite easily. And you tend to eat less. It's scientifically proven, people. But yeah, I found that little body of water is like a pool, I suppose. Right. Turn you around. See, we have found a pool of water. And by looks of it, there is a few little fish in there. Obviously it comes out over there somewhere, so we're going to go have a gander. So yeah, rule 4, We don't want any damn smelly foods, because smelly foods brings people in. Rule 5. Don't be fucking loud. Like, just don't be loud. Because that's what gets most people caught. From what I've watched on people's videos and shit, is the fact they make too much fucking noise. Like, they bring a sleeping bag that sounds like they're sleeping in a fucking tinfoil blanket or something. So, no wonder why you get caught. You know? Now over here we got a bit of river, well, stream, and it's pathetic right there. So we'll walk further down and see if we can find you a better bit. Rule 6. Basically, you don't want to be a silhouette. Yeah? So you want to not be right on the top, but you don't want to be right at the bottom. Because if you're right at the top, you stand out like a sore thumb, and right at the bottom, if people's walking along the middle, human beings are naturally more likely to look down and they see your shit. So if you go in the middle, when people look up, you don't get skylined, so you don't stick out like a sore thumb due to the sun. But at the same time, if you're down low, morning people, if you're obviously down low, people can't look down and see you down there. So that'll be rule. It's either 5 or 6, I've lost count. But so that is roughly a few of the rules that I use when I'm stealth camping. Obviously, as you're aware, there are people out on the trail, so it's quite lucky that I'm banging out here now. Absolutely beautiful down here though. Kinda lucky I didn't stop the video when I did. Because we have a little waterfall and water, lake, shenanigans. And then we go down there, we have more water leak. We go down that way, no? So yes, back to stealth camping. Another good thing to do is set up and then go back to the closest walking trails around you and wander around your area, your campsite or whatever the fuck it is you want to call it, and see if you can spot your shelter out anywhere. Like, because if you can't spot your own shelter and you know where it's to, the chance of someone that's going to spot you when they don't know where your shelter is very, very slim, and more than likely it's going to be by accident. And we have a dog enjoying its morning swim. So yeah, when it comes to stealth camping people as well, it's all about picking the right locations. For instance, like, if I was to set up here, as beautiful as it is, got water and everything else, as you can see, people. So, from here, for instance, I would probably go about 20 metres that way, probably, be fine. Where no one would be able to see me or anything. But I still have access to all the water and shit that I need. So when you're stealth camping people, you have to be a bit more selective in how you're staying and everything else. And understand this as well, if you stealth camp in the winter, most of the night you're just going to be sat in your sleeping bag. Alright? Simply because it's fucking cold, you can't have a fire, and there's not a lot you can do in the dark. So we'll give a quick recap. No bright lights, red light only if you can. Red or green. Rule 2. I've kind of forgot them already. Low profile shelter we'll go with. You don't want anything too high. You don't want any, like, I think it's 3. Don't really want any, like, massive foods with real strong food smells, like i.e. bacon and that. Even though we all like bacon. I know. Depressing or what? Trying to recap all these off the top of my head is a bit hard. So yeah, low profile. Where was I? Yeah, obviously food. Sound, obviously. You don't want to be... Me talking along like this is because I'm on my way out and I'm videoing. And I'm kind of walking on a trail. Now, if that wouldn't have happened, like, I wouldn't be filming or walking on the trail explaining shit to you.
this would be away and I'd be walking silent. Right, and no silhouetting. Obviously, if I was to go out there like 10 metres and set up, you wouldn't see me. Right? Because of how thick and green it is, blah blah blah. Looking up, obviously I wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb. But say I camped over there on that nice flat bit, as lovely as it looks. The squirrels on the other side, just going up the tree. Obviously there's a path there, there's a path over here, so I'd get seen quite, well, definitely, unless they're blind. In the summer it might be possible. I want to go over and have a look a sec, 'cause I don't know. Because if it is nice, sturdy and flat and solid, well, I see it's flat, it's just whether it's sturdy and solid or is it like, meh, mush. So I'll do a little stream crossing, and if it's like the mud by the stream, it's fucked. I'm up. Sorry about you guys just seeing palm. And by the looks at people, there is chestnut trees where I'm to. So buzzinga! Yeah, to be fair, I reckon get away with camping over. It's nice. It's hard grounded, to be honest. So I suppose that's a yes for me here. Onwards. But yeah, a lot of time with stealth camping. Effectively, think of it as guerrilla warfare camping without the war. Easiest way to put it. Guerrilla camping, yeah. We're going to refer to it as guerrilla camping from now. So yeah, guerrilla camping tips. Sounds better as well than stealth, to be fair. Stealth sounds like you're fucking doing some, like, crazy shit. Well, I say crazy shit, more like boring, just going places you shouldn't go. Guerrilla warfare camping sounds fucking interesting. So, yes. Guerrilla warfare tactics it is. Nah, I'm joking. But basically, it's the same principle. Like, the camping side of things, like, stealth camping is the same, effectively, as, like, guerrilla warfare camping. Like, camping without being seen, you know, the military style of shit. Obviously, I'm DPM'd right up to the eyeballs. But, yeah, to be fair though, that's basically it, people. It's just guerrilla warfare camping, you might as well say. Like, low profile, you don't want anything fucking big, and you don't want any fucking bright lanterns. Like, obviously, normally it takes me lantern for filming. Today, all I had was my head torch and a little side torch. If I grab me torch, I should show you. Like, that's my only ever torch. Like, and I got me little crappy Energizer head torch that I showed you earlier. It's quite fucking nice down here, actually. It's quite flooded out. Beautiful. So yeah, that's my thoughts on guerrilla camping. Simply because you might as well say that's what it is. We're using the exact same skills that they use in guerrilla warfare as in camp style. Like being able to hide, like, basically in plain sight bullshit, you might as well say. And to those people that walk off fucking umpteen miles into the middle of bastard and nowhere and go, I'm stealth camping. Fuck me, mate, you'd be lucky to get seen by a fucking satellite. So effectively, you're just normal camping. Like my camp back there is stealth camping, right? I'm less than 20 metres from a path. Like, you could have thrown a stone and hit me. Like, I'm not even going to throw it far. So, now that's stealth camping. Being basically right next to the edge of a trail, you might as well say, where people could see you if they spent enough time looking. Like, and spent enough time looking. Because there was times when I was trying to do those videos and I was like, shit man, where the fuck's my tent? Like, because I got to show you guys it. So, yeah, you get my drift there. But, guerrilla camping, or guerrilla warfare camping, stealth camping, whatever you want to call the bullshit. I prefer the term guerrilla camping. So, please feel free to let me know your thoughts and reviews, I suppose, people, because that's what it's about. I wish I had some Rizla, some big skins. I'd crawl out onto there and go make myself a doobie and have a brew, because what a place. But I ain't got no Rizla, so I can't be fucked to stop. But it is banging out here, people. You should get out and do some gorrila camping. Or just standard wild camping. Because this place here is beautiful. I would love to tell you where it's to, but I'm not, because I don't want to risk a load of toss pots coming down here and ruining this place. Because, just because you lovely guys are like me and practice the ethos, leave no trace, doesn't mean every other uneducated moron will. Like, to be fair, this trip's been quite lucky. Like, I'm glad there's been a lockdown. There ain't really been much rubbish to pick up and move. Where a lot of times, like especially in this place, I've come down with bags. And like, well, I just come down with a bag and got like all my brew kit and like 2 packets of noodles in the bottom. And the rest of the rubbish I pick up's from fucking everyone else that's here. So, to you uneducated swine, if you come to places like this, leave no trace. It is not hard. If you can pack it in, you can pack it out. And if you pack it in, it's going to be lighter when you pack it out because there's going to be no weight in it. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? But yeah, on that note, people, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a good one. I'll see you all on the next one. Jesus loves you, and sayonara, people.